do show there. This used to be a complex that delivers C-Series for Bombardier. When you buy a private jet, when they hand it to you, the company is doing an event to celebrate that. I did John traveled to Princess of China 3 times, private C-Series jet, and a couple more that I just don't remember. It's funny that we're flying next to that.
I guess welcome to the jungle, right?
It felt really good to sleep, feel like I'm waking up at noon, but actually it's like 8 or 9. I'm jet lagged, but it's part of the trip, I guess. Before we get stuff done, I need to go with Dorian in the studio and make sure that we have everything that we need. So that's going to be the first step today, but before that, seriously, I need a coffee.
So yeah, this studio used to be all analog. You used to have a 24-track tape machine in here back in the day, and just a wall of synthesizers.
Okay, so it was a synthesizer studio, or at least all his synthesizer were set up here.
So my dad was my dad. See what I mean about mess?
Oh yeah,
snake mess.
Oh yeah. Well, it's not that bad.
Yeah, it could be worse.
We can go through that.
Yeah.
It's really nice. That's an old road?
This is a 73 Rhodes that he played Dreamweaver on.
Oh, that's the one.
That's the original.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really nice. Is it still in like playing condition?
Oh, it sounds amazing.
Okay.
And then like so what's really cool, and I learned this from his guy. Sorry, you have to squeeze in to see this.
No, that's fine.
So back in the 70s, my dad kind of innovated the wearing the keyboard, like, you know, like a guitar.
Like the keytar?
Keytar. But there wasn't like MIDI keyboards back then. It was more like, you know, this is like the original kind of MIDI like hookup.
It's a 12, yeah, how many pin connectors?
Yeah, and it would go to a big Moog. But like this is one of his stage keyboards that he'd wear around his you know,
nice.
His back.
So it was just a controller over a single cable that was going to remove, or another synthesizer.
And that white one, like that.
The white one?
Yeah. So he'd like play it and do solos and like lift it over his head. But the thing's pretty heavy, like, you know, it's not like, you know, like the modern keyboard. Like, you know, he has his newer Roland one that's in that bag.
Okay.
That's like lighter.
I'll just go around.
Yeah. But when I was interviewing this guy Steve Picaro, and he was 17 years old, and he auditioned for my dad's band, and he got the gig, and so he quit high school and went on tour with my dad.
Okay.
And he said it was like, I mean, imagine the biggest dream come true ever. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, I get to leave high school and go on tour with, you know, like, and like,
With famous people,
Yeah,
with people that I'm looking up to.
so he was the second keyboard player with my dad because it was all like synthesized. It was like the first all synthesized, like all synthesized record.
Okay.
And then, but he was saying these keyboards were all custom made by like Oberheim, Moog, and like my dad would say, "Oh, I wanted like, you know, a certain thing on the keyboard," and they would custom make it for him. So imagine it'd be like the beginning cars, and you would say, "Oh, I want this on my car." You know, it was all like made to order.
And Ford would do it for you,
Yeah.
or Chrysler, or whatever. Okay, really
Yeah.
nice.
Exactly.
Wow, this is like, yeah, well, it's amazing. Well, he changed the instrument. He make the instrument evolve
Yeah.
into like, basically he invented the guitar. Or
Guitar,
the
yeah.
idea of
Yeah.
was the first stuff. And well, when you have Roland that can do stuff like, well, like this, or these are, you said are the newer one.
Yeah, that's more of like the here. I'll open it up.
Okay.
That's like what he would tour when he was like in his 60s and 70s.
Okay.
Like my dad was still touring when he was like 75,
Okay.
and he only stopped touring like three years ago, I want to say. But see, that's the newer.
Okay, that's
Version.
like it's a guitar.
Yeah. So there's a lot of history in this room. You could feel
Yeah.
it. Like,
Oh no, I definitely feel it.
yeah.
You know, it is. And sorry, but I feel like the wing is like out of place in this, almost in this room, because you know you have all that vintage gear. That's an old. Oh, that's an old controller 24.
Doesn't work anymore.
It doesn't work anymore.
Well, I mean, it works, but it's not supported anymore. So
No, if
Yeah.
you have to, whatever you have to keep it that way.
yeah, and that's like an old G5 computer that's in that room in there.
Yeah.
But I was thinking we take these fader, like these knobs,
Yeah.
and put it on this.
And what else do we have in here while I'm like looking at this?
Two Neve Pre's.
The two Neve Pre's.
This is a
Those are-
channeler, basically a knockoff of the 1073.
Yeah, a 165 DBX. But this is like the 160 VU version with way more option. You have control over attack, release, and it's a really good compressor to use like on bass drum or stuff that has low end energy. It deals really well with low end energy.
Perfect. We can use that on the kick.
Yes. Oh yeah, definitely.
And then down here you got like a really vintage 1176.
Yeah, Uri 1176,
And this is a
the
Lexicon.
OG, and oh, that's the digital reverb. Those things, even like for old digital technology, they sound awesome. Maybe I will do some hardware insert of the 165 on the bass drum with the hardware insert, because it's the only compressor that we have other than the 1176. I think for the 1176, I'm just gonna build him a golden chain of one of the Neve preamp or the Chandler. Nah, it's gonna be the Neve. Maybe I want to use one of the Neve on the bass drum or the Chandler on the bass drum. Go out of that into the DBX 165A and go straight into a line in on the console. And we have like good legendary units, so we should use them. For the monitoring, we have the Mayer HD1. Never heard of these boxes before. I'm sure they're gonna sound awesome.
So this is
Okay.
the EQ for the speakers, and the way they're EQ'd actually
Yeah.
sounds good for the room.
Okay.
Because if you don't use the EQ, they sound kind of muddy on the low end. So whoever EQ'd it was someone that knew they were doing probably
Okay.
win.
Before we touch that, I would
Yeah.
fire up the system.
Yeah.
So apparently after some digging, this wall plate and the one on the other side already has a wire that's coming in the floor. The only thing that we would need is to find a way to hook it up. And I have this cable, which I'm not going to use completely, but has 16 male, and using the 16 input of the S16 and using the console pre for the console mic pre and stuff for everything else. So if we want to set up a vocal mic next to it or a guitar, an acoustic guitar, we're going to use the console pre for that. But everything else will be run through the S16, and we can use the patch in the wall. We're making progress here. This place was a mess like a couple hours ago. And when I'm going to leave today, it will probably be a functional recording studio. This place is a treasure box. Seriously. I'm amazed by what we found. What's that?
Fuck, I can't read that. R121. It's a good mic?
It's like the holy grail of guitar ribbon mic.
Great. And then this is a German mic my dad used to use on his vocals. I'm not a big fan of it.
Geffel.
George Harrison and my dad doing demos. So I got to transfer all these. Oh, here it is. See, it's a stereo DBX 162.
Maybe we can try it.
Oh yeah, this is his move. This still works too.
Probably won the holy grail of keyboard there.
My dad's engineer was borrowing it, but it's a AKG 452.
One of them is broken?
Yeah, probably this one. It feels loose. Well, this is good for like under the snare, right?
Under the snare, hi-hat.
Because I got a lot of good Sennheiser mics. That one guy that I love the drum sound he got, but that Christian church guy, he's like, oh, I use a Sennheiser kick drum mic, so I got that one, and then
okay. What I like on Floor Tom is these ones.
This is the kick one.
We found this, a Violet microphone that has a C12 capsule on it. What's a copy of a C12 from Audio-Technica. So before we maybe look for something else, I just want to make sure that this capsule is working. Hi, it's been a long time. Hey, 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 hey.
I saw something.
Hey, 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 hey. And now, okay, that's the back side. That's the front side of the capsule. Definitely not a bad mic.
No.
We're good with that. Now, we changed a couple of things. I found that old QSC amplifier in the bottom here that we're going to use for a headphone DAC tape that we're going to use because Dorian has a lot of tape from his father that he wants to use. We're taking off the patch bay. Phantom power doesn't go through it. So what I did is I unscrewed that plate right there behind the drum. There's a three-way split that I could use with a wire that was in the patch bay, and I just have enough room so I can reach the S16 that will be on this side, and I have like an inch or two of loose, but it's just working. We took out everything that was MIDI in there, and the studio, once the floor is closed, we start to see the floor, which was not the case this morning. Now it's 10 at night. We started at 9 this morning. I'm gonna test the 162, make sure it's working, and after that, we're just gonna go to bed. It seems to pass some signal. Let's go bypass that first. Oh yeah. On these, so.
Oh, it's smoking.
Okay, that's it. I'm gonna unplug it just to make sure. But yeah, the magic smoke coming out.
In the beginning, you're like, it's not smoking. Pop a little.
Yeah. Enough for day one. We're going home. Or at least I'm going to the motel. See you tomorrow. I know for some of you guys, it's maybe what you guys see every day, but to me, waking up in December wearing shorts surrounded by palm tree doesn't make any sense. Right now in my driveway, there's 1.5 feet of snow, and I know on Friday when I come back, there's a snowstorm, so I probably have 2.5 feet of snow to shove to just park my car. So feels a bit surreal right now.
Oh, I'm excited about today, dude. I must say.
Today's the day where we're gonna make sound.
Polka music, right?
Yeah, polka music. And welcome to day 2. Another day in the studio. At first, we're gonna do drum because I want to make sure that we have drum. Now that we have fixed the panel in the back, we can also close that hole in the floor. We're gonna mic some stuff, like clean up, mic some stuff. Make sure to put Dorian's LED, and that's gonna be it. I want to try that Rhodes. I want to see how everything else in that room is sounding. Now that we know where everything's going to be in the rack, I can now start to work on the wing. We're going to do a couple of things to the wing. First, we're going to replace the knobs on this one with the knob of the old Control 24 that Dorian had. And I'm going to set up the console. Basically, setting up the console, meaning take the input from the S16. I know what's going to be on the other side. It's going to be a drum, it's going to be a Rhodes, it's going to be not the vocal boot. The idea is to have one of the Neve into a 1176 for vocal. That's going to be a line from the floor that's going to be plugged straight in the Neve, and then 1176, and then plug in the console in the line in. I'm just doing my label in the source menu right now, and this is something that I suggest everybody to do on your setup. Just take time to label your stuff in the source menu. You will save so much time looking for what's plugged where, and it also saves you time because this is where you set up your source to be mono, stereo, or mid-side if you have a mid-side option for some reason. Enough fooling around with the console. Let's set up a drum and put some mic on it.
Keep going.
Okay. Understand what we did here with the insert? You understand?
Okay, so 1 through 2. This is okay. These are all inserts. So this is
your Cubase insert, the external effect that we're applying on all your tracks. So the first one is your kick. If we just shut everything, that's your kick.
So this is my mix.
This is your inserts. All your channel as inserts.
Meaning what?
They are inserted on the track in Cubase.
So is this like my mixer gain or not? It has nothing to do with DAW.
It has nothing to do with DAW.
So what does it have to do with? Just like my volume going in, or?
It's your processing from the console for that channel. Your kick, all your channels in Cubase. We assign an insert. We inserted console channel strip into them.
Okay. So you're an external effect.
I'm using the console like if it was a outboard compressor. I create a send and return in Cubase. First track, kick. I inserted my external effect 1. I'm going to do the same thing for this external effect 2, which is in the bottom here.
What does that do?
It take the channel strip of the console and put it inside Cubase. So the sound is being played from the playback. Send into that channel strip.
So we can process it on the board.
So you can process it on the board. Send it back into Cubase. Just that single, on that single insert external effect.
And when I do duplicate in Cubase, like if I duplicate the track, it should add that with it. That insert, yeah.
Probably, but you want to change it, so you always want it to be the track number. This is why track number really matters here. can go up to 24 tracks. So
And then if I have other sounds like virtuals, it's just gonna come out the stereo
just
bus.
just don't process it through the console,
Yeah.
which I would not recommend anyway. So it's not against the rule, but it's not gonna do much.
Good. So the faders are work too.
They should.
That's the main out.
That's the monitor out.
Okay.
Well,
Or you can use that or that. Or that
no,
just turns
actually,
it off.
it's both. It's both. That's at your level. That's your console main out that goes out to the speaker, and you just like use this as a volume adjuster. But that's just the main out of the console. If I turn it down, it's still going into Cubase.
Yeah, I'll record some roads and then like some vocal,
Mm-hmm.
and then we can start processing shit so I can see how we do that.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that.
So that'll be on the template, right? The channels you set up.
Yeah, as long as you keep the same thing in the same place and same channel. Let's say 11. Doesn't matter what you use to record bass. As long as you in channel 11 record bass and you keep channel 11 in with the insert that we did, the external effect 11, which right now is it? Yes. No, we're out of the loop. I have full control over.
That's the bass.
Yeah, but that's gonna be going. Well, if you do a mix,
But why, like when you lift that fader up and down, it's not affecting Cubase fader?
different thing. After that, we need to switch the console into DAW mode.
Then we can.
One will affect.
Okay. So after you set up the insert, you put it in DAW.
Yeah, usually you'll leave the fader pretty much zero. Or if you really want to mix and say that's going to be way too loud, I just want to turn my overheads down. Not these two, because you could do like a preset of everything from there. Normally I would just leave it at zero, but you could do. Oh, come on. You could just leave those here, and after that, in the DAW, you can create your.
You have it upside down.
Piss me off. You could ride the fader from there and create some automation.
Yeah, in DAW mode.
Yeah, in DAW mode.
Okay.
I'm surprised it just like registered like that. Did I set it up for Cubase? Or was it?
I set it up for Cubase.
Oh, okay. So
I already did that.
okay, so it's all gonna be working in Cubase. I can do some stop, play. I can scroll with the wheel from
which is
here.
great.
Yeah, and it's just gonna work.
Check it out. The distortion in it, you just don't get it in the plugin. It's just like fucking.
No, because it sounds like this one.
Yeah.
Not the one that they tried. Not the one that UAD have
Yeah.
and try and not sounding like yours. This one sounds unique.
I think that's everything. We did the DAC, we did the talkback mic, we did the TV. There's nothing else, right?
The talkback. No, we need to do the reverb. So I took external effect like we have on Cubase, and I insert that on bus 8. Well, there's like line out from the back 5 and 6, coming back into aux in 5 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4 are or preamp there. 5 and 6 is the lexicon. So I put it on I insert that on a bus post fader, and you need to take the channel from Cubase and send this channel, or like I took the snare as an example, and you need to take this, take the insert and send into bus 8. That.
Let me video that.
Yeah, it's a complex stuff. You will need to record it if you want to put it on the track.
You have to record. So if I put it on a vocal,
You have to record.
record the vocal back into Cubase with the effect
No,
on
you
it?
can do it at the same time as you record the real vocal, but you have to record the reverb. It's not an insert plugin in the sense of it's what you have on there. You lay it down on the track like if it was anything else, like if it was a road. Like
So are you just blending the reverb in that printed
Yeah.
version with the normal Rhodes?
Mhm.
So it's almost like like New York compression, but with reverb instead?
Yeah.
Okay.
Parallel reverb.
Parallel reverb.
Parallel
Okay.
reverb.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, now hopefully I remember all this shit.
I'm expect you to call me within the next 5 days.
No.
Congratulations, you're the owner of a recording studio.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Right.
Sounds so good. Wow.
One last little camera tour of the drum, of the setup. And it's done. This place is done. We made it. We changed it from a place that was not used to a like working recording studio. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm going back home. Time to fly. See you guys soon. See you. Man.